Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Radha Madhava Madhava Radhe. Jai Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jai Nitai Gauranga. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Yamuna Tera Vanusari, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Jai Radha Madhava. Jai Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jai Nitai Gauranga. Sripad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Stotra Shatashri His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Vrinde Devi Tulasi Maharani Ki Vishwa Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Creation, Chapter number 3, Krishna is the source of all incarnations, text number 15. Rupam sa jagre matsyam.
Rupam sajagre matsyam.
Rupam sa jagre matsyam.
Rupam sajagre matsyam.
Chakshusho shadiri samplave.
Chakshusho rati samplave.
Navyo arobhya mahimaya.
Navyaropya mahimaya.
Apadvaivasvatam manum.
Apadvaivasvatam manum.
Rupam sajagrehe matsyam.
Rupam sajagre matsyam.
Chakshusho dadi
Chakshusho
sambhave.
dati sambhave.
Navyarobhya mahimaya.
Navyalokya mahimaya.
Apadvaivasvatam.
Apadvaivasvatam manum.
Rupam sajagrehe matsyam.
Rupam sajagre matsyam.
Chakshusho dadi sambhave.
Chakshusho dati sambhave.
Navyarobhya mahimaya.
Navyalokya mahimaya.
Apadvaivasvatam manum.
Apadvaivasvatam manum. Rupam sajagre matsyam. Chakshusho dati sambhave. Navyalokya mahimaya. Apadvaivasvatam manum.
Rupam,
Rupam
form.
form.
Saha,
Saha
he.
he.
Jagrehe,
Jagrehe
accepted.
accepted.
Matsyam,
Matsyam
of a fish.
of a fish.
Chakshusha,
Chakshusha
Chakshusha.
Chakshusha.
Udhadhi,
Udhadhi,
water.
water.
Samplave,
Samplave,
inundation.
inundation.
Navi,
Navi,
on the boat.
on the boat.
Aropya,
Aropya,
keeping on.
keeping on.
Mahi,
Mahi,
the earth.
the earth.
Maya,
Maya,
drowned in.
drowned in.
Apar,
Apar,
protected.
protected.
Vaivasvatam,
Vaivasvatam,
Vaivasvata.
Vaivasvata.
Manum,
Manum,
Manu,
Manu,
the father of man.
father of man.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.
When there was a complete inundation after the period of the Chakshusha Manu, and the whole world was deep within water, the Lord accepted the form of a fish and protected Vaivasvata Manu, keeping him on a boat. Translation with repetition. When there was a complete inundation
When there was a complete inundation,
after the period of the Chakshusha Manu,
after the period of the Chakshusha Manu,
and the whole world was deep within water,
and the whole world was deep within water,
the Lord accepted the form of a fish
the Lord accepted the form of a fish
and protected Vaivasvata Manu,
and protected Vaivasvata Manu,
keeping him up on a boat.
keeping him up on a boat.
Purport. According to Sripada Sridhara Swami, the original commentator on the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is not always a devastation after the change of every Manu. And yet, this inundation after the period of Chakshusha Manu took place in order to show some wonders to Satyavrata. But Sri Jiva Goswami has given definite proofs from authoritative scriptures like Vishnu Dharmottara, Markandeya Purana, Harivamsha, etc., that there is always a devastation after the end of each and every Manu. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti has also supported Srila Jiva Goswami, and he, that is Sri Chakravarti, has also quoted from Bhagavatamrita about this inundation after each Manu. Apart from this, the Lord, in order to show special favor to Satyavrata, a devotee of the Lord, in this particular period, incarnated himself. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadhi Paschatadeshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So here the incarnations of Lord Krishna, various incarnations, are being narrated by Sutta Goswami to the sages of Naimisharanya. And here the 15th incarnation is being explained here. 10th incarnation, I think so. Previous incarnation was, we discussed, it was about Maharaja Prutu. Navamyam Parthivam Vapuhu. So 9th incarnation was Maharaj Prutu, that was talked previously. And here the 10th incarnation in line of the 22nd, the 22 incarnations are explained. And the current 10th incarnation is Matsya incarnation. Now the Lord appearing in the form of a fish. Rupam sajagrahe matsyam. He accepted. Rupam sajagrahe. He accepted the form of a fish. Who accepted? The Supreme Personality of Godhead. And when did he accept this form? Chakshusha udadhi samplave. When he accepted this form during Chakshusha Manu. And when at the time Udhadi Samplave, there was an inundation of water. Navi Aropya Mahi Mayam. On the boat, Aproha, keeping on, Mahi, the earth, Mayam, drowned, Apat, protected. So he protected. Whom did he protect? Apad Vaivasvata Manu. He protected the Vaivasvata Manu. Actually, when the protection happens, one has to see very nicely. During Chakshusha Manu, Lord Matsya appeared, and it is said here he appeared to protect Vaivasvata Manu. How is this possible? Chakshusha Manu is going on. And here is Prabhupada, Sutta Goswami is saying here, Apad Vaivasvata Manu. And is protecting Vaivasvata Manu. He's supposed to be protecting Chakshusha Manu, right? When Chakshusha Manu's period, this inundation happened. Naturally, the victim is Chakshusha Manu. But here, Sutta Goswami says, Apad Vaivasvata Manu. this explanation is very nicely explained in 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where the Matsya Avatara is explained in detail that why he appeared in this form. Matsya is a fish. It's a fish incarnation. We have not seen much of Matsya Avatara temples. There are many temples for Lord Narasimha, Parashurama. Some temples are there. Little less seen temples of Matsya Avatara is seen. In the South Indian region, some temples of Matsya Avatara is there. But this incarnation is very special. Any incarnation is, for that matter, is very special. Every avatar has its purpose, and Lord exhibits his wonderful opulence, and he also exhibits his special mercy upon his devotees accepting a special form. In each form, we see this some uniqueness of his pastimes are there. As mentioned, this pastime of Matsya Avatara is very nicely explained in 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. There is a nice explanation that Matsya Avatara is even in the 2nd canto also, the description of scheduled incarnations of the chapter. Matsya Avatara is also being explained. It has been spoken then also. Further also we see when we go ahead. So in the scheduled incarnations in Canto 2nd, this is explained by Brahma himself actually. He says, at the end of the millennium, the would-be Vaivasvata Manu of the name Satyavrata would see that Lord in the fish incarnation is a shelter of all kinds of living entities. Up to those in the earthly planets, because of my fear of vast water at the end of the millennium, the Vedas come out of my, that means Brahma's mouth, and the Lord enjoys those vast waters and protects the Vedas. So here, both the incarnation, two incarnations of Matsya is briefed in this verse by Brahma. So Brahma appears, Lord Krishna appears as Matsya Avatara during two Manvantaras. One Avatara is during the Swayambhuva Manu, the period of Swayambhuva Manu, when Brahma falls asleep. Because when when he gets into deep sleep, sometimes he forgets himself, and in the deep sleep sometimes some activities happen. Sometimes people also speak in a deep sleep, or some kind of snoring happens. No, that is a result of deep sleep. Similarly, when Brahma was deep sleep, is in very, very ghada nidra, we can say. So he was, his mouth became wide open, and he was, the Vedas were emanating from his mouth. And in another place it is mentioned, Brahma, after seeing the vast water of devastating water, which is rising up, he became so afraid. And when he became afraid, generally when we become fearful, we became like a lot of emotions come out. Like that we we respond like with similar emotions. So when he was fearful like that, the Vedas fell down from the mouth of Brahma in the devastating water. That is another explanation. So knowing that Vedas are now gone, so Lord Matsya appears, and at the same time, the demon here, Hayagriva. There are two Hayagriva. Hayagriva appears as Lord, appears also as a Hayagriva incarnation. Why he appears as Hayagriva? Lord Hayagriva comes for what activity? Is it correct? Sorry? He came to give the Vedas, but Hayagriva also appears twice. He comes to kill Madhukaitaba. He comes to kill Madhukaitaba also, if I am correct. But this time, Lord did not come in the form of Hayagriva. In the form of Hayagriva also, he protected the Vedas. Because Madhu and Kaitaba, they actually stole the Vedas again. So demons are after Vedas. They also want Veda. But demon wants to snatch the Vedic knowledge. But devotees pray for the knowledge of Vedas. Because the Vedic knowledge cannot be captured by our power, our force. It is always sought by pleading. One has to beg from Guru and Krishna for the knowledge. So, in that way, Lord appeared here now as Vatsya to protect the Vedas from demon Hayagriva. Same Lord as Hayagriva, he protected Vedas. But there is a demon also coming in the form of Hayagriva to steal Vedas. And Lord Matsya protected the Vedas and restored back to Brahma after killing demon Hayagriva. And then again in the Chakshusha Manvantara, at the end of the Manvantara, there is again an inundation. There is an inundation of all the planetary system, Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha. All the three planetary systems gets inundated with devastating water. And just before that, at the end of Chakshusha Manu, there was a ruler by name Satyavrata, King Satyavrata. So he was a devotee of Lord Krishna and Vishnu. While he was performing austerities, and he comes to the bank of river Kritamala. Kritamala river is there in the south, the Dravidian region, and he used to perform penance there. And while offering, worshipping the river, generally the river is worshipped by taking a palmful of water and offering back to the river bank. That is how the river is worshipped. So while Satyavrata was offering the water back from his palm, while just he was releasing the water, there happens to be a small fish, a very tiny fish, smaller than even our palm. Our palm itself is hardly 6 inch or so. So a small fish means probably less than an inch or a half an inch. A tiny fish comes in the shelter of the palmful of water in the hands of Satyavrata Raja. Just while he was about to release the palmful of water, the fish started to speak to the king. Now, a fish can never speak. Fish is a dumb animal. Of course, it may have its own language to communicate among the fish community, but in the with intra-species communication is unknown to each other. They have their own way of communication. At least a dog can communicate by barking, or a lion can communicate by roaring, cow can communicate by mooing, but fish can never talk. We have never heard of fish even uttering a single word in various different forms. But this fish, he was astonished to see that how come this fish is speaking. So the fish started to speak to Satyavrata, saying that, why are you putting me back inside this ocean, inside this water, the river, basically? Because there are many other bigger fish which will swallow me up. So please protect me. So king, he's a king, he has to protect. So he took inside his jug and he takes back to his palace. And as soon as he puts this fish inside the jug, the fish again grows so big that it finds the jug very small, too small to accommodate in that. So he again pleads, please take me out of this jug, put me somewhere else. This is becoming too small for me. So from there he puts in a well, and after putting inside the well also becomes small for the fish. It expands its body, and again it starts pleading, please take me out of this well, it's too small for me. Okay. From the well he was put inside the lake. So again it expands its body and again pleads, please take me out of this lake. The lake is too small for me. So king is puzzled every time. And he, from the lake, he puts inside the sea. And even the sea becomes too small. And while he was taking out from the sea, he becomes, no, this is too much. Please tell me, who are you? You don't appear to be an ordinary fish. Actually, he was waiting for this much to ask this question. This could have been asked in the first instance itself, because that itself is very astonishing to, But Lord has his Leela. He wanted to project his opulence. That's like Lord Varaha, it is described. When he appeared, his body was so huge, it covered even the three planetary system. Each length and breadth of the universe is covered by the form of Lord Varaha in the sky. So, Lord, in this way, Satyavrata, Maharaj Satyavrata understood that you cannot be an ordinary fish. Please tell me, who are you? So then, the fish Lord appears and he informs him that now, very soon, in next 7 days, there will be a great inundation. That whole universe will be, whole planetary systems will be filled with water. And then he says that I will appear in the form of the Matsya, the form of Matsya. And he directs him to be ready with all the herbs, with all the medicines, with all the different species. And the Sapta Rishis also, along with Sapta Rishis. Sapta Rishis are, in each Manvantara there will be one Sapta Rishi. There will be a batch of Sapta Rishis. In the current, they are all called also as Brahma Rishis. They are the chief of all the saintly people, those who protect the Vedas. They guide the society with Vedic knowledge. And currently, the current Manvantara is Vaivashvata Manvantara. And the Sapta Rishis we know, Bharadwaja, Kashyapa Muni, Atri, Gautama, Vishwamitra, Vashishta. So like that there are Sapta Rishis. Like each Manvantara there will be one batch of Sapta Rishis, and they will be residing in, there are Sapta Rishi constellation. They reside in that star. That's why they say it as a Gotra. No? When we take birth, there is a Gotra that is assigned to each person. And the Gotras actually come from these Sapta Rishis. Bharadwaja Gotra, Kashyapa Gotra. Of course, today people don't know what is Gotra, because when we do Sankalpa in this part of country, when we ask Gotra, they say Patel Gotra, Single. Of course, Single is also Gotra because they feel that Maharaj Agresena had some 16 sons, and each son is a Gotra for them. That's what they believe. But if you see in that way, so this is the connection that is established through the Gotra, that they belong to uh, which of the these Sapta Rishis, that the family lineage is connected. And there are many reasons why the Gotra is given. And here, these Sapta Rishis were also asked to be kept ready, made ready, so that informed and kept ready, so that when the inundation comes, the Lord said that I will come in the form of a huge Matsya, in the form of Matsya, and there will be a huge boat on which you can load all the herbs and medicines and the Sapta Rishis and the species, and then you can tie on the horn of this fish. Generally, fish doesn't have a horn. Have you seen any fish with a horn? Probably it may be there. At least in our experience, we have not seen the aquatic form of a fish having a horn. So that itself shows it is not an ordinary Matsya form. It's not an ordinary fish. It is simply roaming around within the ocean. And the fish incarnation, it is described in the Bhagavatam. It is so vast, so vast. It is as vast as wide as 8 million miles. Is the length of this huge fish. 8 million miles. So when we go to foreign countries, all the measurement is, distance is calculated in the form of miles. So you have to sit and calculate, how many kilometers exactly. So you have to calculate and know. Because we don't accommodate the factor of miles in our calculation quickly. So 8 million miles. 8 million, each million is 10 lakh. And 8 million means 80 lakh. 80 lakh miles into 1.6 kilometers. Each mile is 1.6 kilometers. So almost 100 crore, close to 100 crore, and we close to 1 billion. 100 crore is 1 billion, right? 100 crore kilometers is a length of this huge Matsya form. It's unimaginable. Our eyes, even our lakhs of eyes or thousands of eyes or unlimited eyes cannot accommodate this much distance. That is a huge Matsya form. So that is his opulence. This is the opulence of the Lord. Where is the beginning? Where is the end? No one can see. So that is the special form of Lord Krishna appearing as Matsya. Very simple, it looks very ordinary explanation. आया फॉर्म में नाव को टकला करके लेके चला गया. But there is great information and understanding behind this simple act of Lord appearing as Matsya and protecting Maharaja Satyavrata and preparing him for the next Manvantara of Vayavasvata Manvantara. And this Raja Satyavrata would be in the future the son of Vivashwan. The next Manvantara, which is the current Manvantara, Vayavasvata Manvantara, Vivashwan's son, Raja Satyavrata appears as son of Vivashwan, who is known as Shraddha Deva, and he is protected by Lord Krishna in the form of Matsya. How is the protection given? The protection is given against the inundation, because when inundation happens, everything is covered by water. Recently in Ahmedabad, few weeks back, there was a heavy rains. Many areas of Ahmedabad was like covered up by water. Even in last year in Baroda, I heard there was a huge rain where even at least the ground floor of the house was covered up with water. So we are so much panic stricken even with that kind of rain. Yesterday I was with one person, he was explaining in Ahmedabad, my ground floor and half of my ground floor and my basement was fully filled with water. My wife was so much anxiety. चलो अभी ऊपर तो है ना, फर्स्ट फ्लोर तो है ना, हम फर्स्ट फ्लोर में चले जाएंगे. कोयला के पास वो भी नहीं है. So be peaceful. And she is not pacified. So much fear connected with that filling of water. That is nothing, not even uncomparable with the inundation that is going to happen at the Yuga or during this Manvantara period. So that is a great fear, because when there is inundation, there is a great fear assigned with that inundation. So Raja Satyavrata was protected because he was a great devotee of the Lord and he is to be the next Manvantara. Because of his austerities, because of his tapasya, he was awarded by Brahma to become the next Manvantara. And accordingly, he was a great devotee of the Lord. And Lord had a plan, and he, Prabhupada says in this purport, the Lord, in order to show special favor to Satyavrata, a devotee of Lord in this particular period, he incarnated himself. So, when the Lord Matsya was moving around this great water of inundation, because everywhere water, nothing is there. The whole creation, apart from this huge water, nothing is there. So what is Lord doing? He is simply moving around in this great inundation. Nothing can be done. No? He has to simply, till the water resides, no, he simply is moving in the boat. Lord is carrying the boat and navigating the boat within the great ocean. But what is happening during that time? That is most important. They are not simply moving to, no, just like, actually moving in ocean is a very big suffering. Like how Prabhupada is traveling in the ocean. It's not so easy and simple. To remain in the ocean, in the midst of the water, there is nothing surrounding you. Even materially also it is too boring. That's why in the cruise, people don't feel that if you ask them, minus all those entertainment, if you ask them to be in the ship, keep moving, they will see, what is this? They will get bugged. What is this? Only water. You see any corner of any part of the corner of the ship, it is only ocean. It's too boring. It's too depressing. Like other day, many months back, I was traveling from Bhavnagar to Surat in a jetty, in a ferry. I thought, let me try this because seems to be very close. If I want to go from Surat to Bhavnagar, instead of traveling all the way Gol Guma karke, but it's a 1 hour of travel, but it was too boring because nothing is there across, only water, and it goes so slowly because ship cannot, not like our car, like run like a express speed. So, what is happening during this time when the Lord is taking them all around in the inundation? He's simply moving. Gol, 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 gumare. Bhagwan. So, Lord Matsya is giving instructions to King Satyavrata. He is instructing on Sankhya Yoga. He is instructing on the science of matter and spirit. He is instructing on the subject matter of absolute truth to the sages, to King Satyavrata. And in this way, they become enlightened and they are completely uh, ignorant about their external circumstances. They are completely unaware of what is happening outside. What is happening outside? There is great inundation, the great cause of fear. Amidst the great cause of fear, they have no fear. Why? Because they are constantly absorbed in hearing from Lord about the subject matter of matter and spirit. The right circumstances to hear instruction. When we are put in that situation, that time if we are told about this instructions of matter and spirit, our mind will be somewhere else. Our mind will be put in so much of anxiety. Our mind will be accompanied and absorbed in the miserable atmosphere surrounding us. Actually, that is a test of what is our sadhana we are doing. Whether we are doing sadhana like a parrot or we are really participating in the sadhana activities. If we do the sadhana like a parrot, parrot may be doing its kind of parroting, but someone catches his throat, it will shout cow cow cow. Where all the sadhana went. But someone who is absorbed deeply within the minute aspects of sadhana, for him, if there is a dangerous circumstances, he is not disturbed by those scenarios, those circumstances. One who is in the association of the Lord, for them there is no cause of any fear. Although the situation of fearful circumstances may continue to exist. That doesn't mean that the fearful circumstances become absent. They continue to remain because this material world is like that. Prabhupada says, Padama Padama Yat Vipadam. Every step there is a danger. The fearful situation doesn't get vanished away. Oh, tomorrow onwards there is no fearful situation. Situation exists. But what is training that the devotees get is that they become trained to how to see this fearful situation. They don't consider them as a fearful situation because they are so much absorbed in the association of the Lord. They have no anxiety for those circumstances. So just like here, Maharaja Satyavrata, they are all completely absorbed on hearing instructions from Matsya Avatara. And whatever conversation that happened between Maharaja Satyavrata and Maharaja And Matsya Avatara is nothing but Matsya Purana. It's all recorded in a Purana called Matsya Purana. So it has a very deep explanation and narration about the conversations that has happened. But Bhagavatam gives a very summary of that. What was exactly discussed is summarized and given in a synopsis. That the complete philosophy of Sankhya and about the absolute truth was discussed, revealed by uh, Matsya Avatara to King Satyavrata. So, in that way, Lord showed a special favor on his devotee Satyavrata. And here, Prabhupada, one last interesting thing Prabhupada is mentioning in this purport. He creates a doubt in the reader's mind in this purport. Actually, it is not creating. No. Here, in the purport, Prabhupada says about two things. He is giving the scenario or the uh, explanation of narration of uh, Sripada Sridhara Swami and also Rupa Goswami and Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti. Both are giving two different opinions. So Prabhupada is giving both the opinions here. So one opinion, Sridhara Swami is mentioning that not necessary that always in every Manvantara changeover period, there has to be a devastation. This is one. This is one proposition, and this proposition is by the reference of Sridhara Swami. And why he appeared in this period? Because he wanted to show some wonders to Satyavrata. And Jiva Goswami's proposition is that there will be always a devastation after end of each and every Manu. So one Acharya is saying there is not necessarily every devastation, every Manvantara there has to be devastation. Another Acharya is saying no, there is a devastation after every Manvantara. So thoroughly apparent, fully contradicting. Loggerheads, two different opinion. No, it is like two individuals sometimes they differ. No, ऐसा नहीं है. So like that. So why Prabhupada has to give this in purport and put us in confusion? Uh, there is a saying, no, child when it is simply in the cradles properly, no, because generally child means it keeps crying always. Yeah, mother how she has to keep on consoling or coordinating with the child so that it settles down. So when a child is settled down and nicely lying down in a cradle, you are happy, okay, settle down. But if you go and pinch, it will cry. And what you have to do for that? You have to go and again do you have to sway the cradle and pacify. So it is something like that. We are settled down. We have no doubt in the mind. But Prabhupada is putting this doubt to us through this explanation in the purport. That why he has to bring this this differentiation that is happening between two acharyas. In many other explanations, Prabhupada says that apparently it may look like that acharyas are contradicting to each other's statements. But in real sense, there is no contradiction. Why? Because acharya speaks in different context, same thing in different context, in different time and circumstances, which the current reader, when they don't know that, they will see like there is a contradiction. So now why Prabhupada has to unnecessarily bring this and put us in like kind of cloud situation? So that is because he wants to teach us. that whether we want to be a critic or we want to be seeing things in harmony. A person who is a critic, he will always see things in contradictory. He will see contradiction in everything. Even if there is no contradiction, also they will create contradiction. This is called interpretation. And a person who is a devotee doesn't see a contradiction. He sees everything in harmony. So what a devotee has to see? He sees in a way that acharyas are, there is no apparent contradiction here. Although externally it looks like there isn't a contradiction. They present different circumstances in different angles and different context with the same subject. So, whether it is Sridhara Swami or whether it is Jiva Goswami, both are correct understanding, because both are acharyas from a parampara, from a bona fide parampara. An acharya from a bona fide parampara cannot give a misleading understanding. So apparently, which appears to be something very misleading. Who is correct now? He is correct or he is correct? And more so, Prabhupada is creating, giving the reference also. Why Jiva Goswami is correct? Why Jiva Goswami is correct? Because Jiva Goswami is also giving reference of other authoritative scriptures like Dharmottara, Markandeya Purana, Hari Vamsha. And he is further saying, even Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura, he is also favoring, not favoring in the sense, supporting. Prabhupada is using the word supporting Jiva Goswami. Because he has also quoted in another Shastra, Bhagavatamrita. So that is the that is a very nice thing we can see between the acharyas. Actually, there is no contradiction, which for us it looks like contradicting. So we should understand when the subject matter is coming from an acharya, from a bona fide parampara, there cannot be any misleading understanding. There is a different context, and not that all the context can be brought in here itself. So we have to understand in that spirit that each acharya's presence according to their time, place and circumstances, and in different angles of presentations and propositions, that they impart to different class of people, different categories of people. That is also important. Whom they are speaking to. That is also important. Stop here. Kanatra Srimad Bhagavatam ki Vishwa Guru Shila Prabhupada.